With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series fires things off for the final time here in the regular season, in season number 4. That's right, we're going to set that playoff picture before we roll into All-Star Week. Roll it at you next week. Before we head trackside, how you doing? How you feeling out there in TV Land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, temperature pretty cool out there tonight here at Kentucky Speedway. Only 70 degrees, so should see a lot of grip for the tail ends of these trucks. And speaking of the trucks on track, just about 2 minutes rolling off the stopwatch here in qualifying. So what do you say we bring you some of those quick times here tonight from Kentucky Speedway? Top of the speed charts with the fast time, the 46 of Chris Medford, gonna show the way. 30:45 is the fast lap here in qualifying. We'll see if Chris can hold that top spot. Brandon Medford right behind him, looking for his 6th win on the season. Brandon has been on an absolute tear so far this year. Radford, their teammate, gonna lock out the top 3, so look at that. Charity Motorsports right there, top of the speed charts as usual. Party's gonna get broken up. Thad Failer says, not so fast, boys. He's gonna break inside of the top 5. Good run here in qualifying. 10 drivers on the speed charts with another 7 yet to put in their time lapse. So as the music begins to fade away in the background, 2 minutes left here in qualifying. Top of the speed chart still belongs to Chris Medford in that 46 Chevy Silverado. 30:44, 30:45, still the fast time for Medford. Parkhurst, Eastep, Baker, Oot, Smalling, and Radford yet to put in their time lapse. Ray Radford still on pit lane in the 47 Chevy Silverado. And while we've got some time here and the track has fallen silent, we're going to go ahead and get some of those times out of the way. What do you say we run down some official business coming into tonight's race, the final cutoff before the playoffs? Your championship standings look a little something like this, and we're going to focus in a little deeper in the field. Brandon Medford, top of the charts, showing the way. That's where he's been most of the season. I want to go all the way down, though. Let's go focus right around that cutoff line. Wes Fuller, Thad Miller, Zachary Wood, Scott Baker. Those are the four that are still in the mix here. Thad Failer, with a good run here tonight, should secure his championship run. He needs to finish inside of a top 10. We'll see if he can get that job done and move off into the playoffs. But Fuller, Thad Miller, Zachary Wood, Scott Baker, all going after those final two positions. And with Fuller not in the field, it is going to be super close on which one of these three make it in to the two positions still available. John Garrett with a good qualifying effort. He's going to break into a top 6 position. And that's going to do it for qualifying. We'll go ahead and get rid of the point standing. So we're going to talk a lot about that tonight, about that battle between Miller, Woods, and Baker. That's what it's all coming down to, which one of those three will take the final two positions in the championship standings. We're going to find out shortly, but first we're going to head to a quick commercial break before we go trackside for your national anthem and your starting lineup. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and their rackets regular, their boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
In backtrack side, as the Jets have finished the flyover, drivers beginning to make their way to the starting grid. And we're going to get set to set sail here tonight from Kentucky Speedway, final regular season race for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series right here each and every Wednesday night. You can find some great action coming up next week. All-Star event on tap. That's going to be one crazy night. You don't want to miss that. And we're going to follow things up with playoff race number 1 at Talladega Super Speedway. So a lot of good racing action coming up very soon here the next handful of weeks. But first, we got to get through tonight right here from Kentucky Speedway, 90 laps, the official distance. So let's head trackside as these truck drivers begin to roll off of pit road. You can hear those familiar sounds in the background. That can only mean one thing. It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup here from Kentucky Speedway. Taking the pole position, 46 of Chris Medford will lead the field to the green flag. Dustin Franklin just to his outside. Thad Failer, Brandon Medford back in row number 2, and in row number 3 tonight, the 94 of Troy. Brandon Pamitat and Zach Woods will make up row number 4, and row number 5 tonight, the 41 of John Goodikins, followed by the 13 of Thad Miller. The 10 of Scott Clodfelter will start inside row number 6 with the 21 of Thomas Smalling. Just to his outside, rest of the field looks a little something like this. Mark Parkhurst and Nathan Eastep will make up row 7. Row number 8 tonight, Scott Baker and Ray Radford, and bringing up the tail end of the field. Inside of his 65 machine, James Wills roll off from 17th. A long way to go here tonight. Drivers getting ready to go. Pace car will make the left-hand turn, and we will nail the loud pedal and get ready to go. Green flag racing at this time by fans in the stands, on their feet, ready to watch these machines come to life. Into the restart zone we roll, and on the gas, green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. We will see a caution, competition caution somewhere around that lap 20 mark. No real word from officials to these drivers and crews when that competition caution flag will fly, so we're going to keep our eye on that. But out of turn number 2 for the first time, pole sitter Medford leads the field down into 3. Looking to the inside comes Franklin, not going to quite be able to press the issue just yet, and Franklin going to settle for second. Thad Failer maintaining that 3rd position with Brandon Medford right behind him. Radford in tow. Your top 5, still your top 5. Lap number 2 goes on the board. Single file single file racing action for a moment. A little bit of trouble there for the 21 of Thomas Smalling, Mark Parkhurst in the 23. Coming together just a little bit about halfway down the backstretch. Big moment there. Early tonight. Parkhurst and Smalling going to come together. Scott Clodfelter going to drop 2 positions from where he qualified to take for 150, now sitting in 13. Single file racing here from Kentucky. Drivers looking to log some laps early here tonight. Possibly just ride this thing on out, ride the wave out until that competition caution. So as we have 3 green flag laps in our back pocket, let's drop that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find the driver here tonight. Medford continuing to show the way, but Franklin not letting him get away. Battle for second now as Brandon ducks to the inside. The 83 looking for a position. Close racing action. They touch. Ooh, and around he goes. 74 going to go around and around. He saved it. Oh, okay, there it is. Finally gets it saved. We thought he was going to be able to keep it spun and just yank it in gear and go. Franklin with a good job not having any further contact after the mishap in the corner. Sends him for a slide through 3 and 4, able to collect the trunk and keep it out of trouble. Dustin Franklin. We go around, bring out caution number 1 here tonight. We work lap number 5 back behind the pace car as Franklin may be going up here. Oh, it looks like he's going to go grab his position, maybe possibly voicing his opinion about the incident right here. He's going to come up through the field now. It looks like he may be dropping back, so we'll see how it all plays out here. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, Chris Medford showing the way. Troy Radford on 3 positions from where he qualified. Brandon Pamitat with the trouble at the front of the field. He's going to pick up another spot, move Pamitat up 4 positions in that U.S. Air Force. The number 48 machine, there you can see him outside row. He'll start inside row for the restart, second lane. We'll see how that inside lane fires off here early tonight. So as the sun begins to slowly set in the background, we should see those track temperatures beginning to come down just a little bit as the night air begins to set in here at the track. The lights will come on and we will finish tonight's race under the lights right here from Kentucky Speedway. Teammates still at the front of the field. Chris Medford, Troy Radford will start in that first lane as the pace car lights go out. Field gets the 1 to go sign this time around. Everybody gonna double file and get ready to go back. Green flag racing after an early spin, early contact has put both Franklin and Medford a little bit behind the 8 ball. Looks like Medford gonna receive an EOL penalty for that contact. He'll go to the tail end of the field. So here's the thing, right, race fans? Here's the thing. All right, we've got a competition caution coming out somewhere around that lap 20 to 27 mark. You know you've got enough fuel in the tank to make it there. Do you risk coming to pit road and utilizing an early set of tires, knowing you're going to have to give up track position later, do you really want to give up that track position twice so early in the night? I would expect to see, even if we see a version, out on the track. Pace car won't stay on track, though. He'll head off to pit road, and we'll head back into the restart zone on the gas, and green flag flies once again as Medford going to take for the teammates to work together here down in turn number 1. There it is. Medford going to take the top spot, and Radford going to fall in line right behind him. Brendan Pamitat with a good lead start. He'll slide into that third position. How about the 66 of John Garrett? He's up 2 positions from where he qualified outside of the top 5. Now to running 4th. Garrett on the move. Battle for the race lead between teammates. Radford looking for a lap lead here. Of the racetrack, and that's going to open up the door for Brandon Pamitat. He's going to follow suit and fall right on through that opening panel. Here it goes. Look at John Garrett. He wants some of this action. Side by side racing through second and third. Medford hanging tough on the high side, not quite letting Pamitat clear him here. Numbers and strength all on the bottom of the racetrack, but hanging tight out top. Brandon Chris with a solid run right here early from Kentucky. Speaking of Brandon Medford, making some moves already from 17th to 14th on the restart. Trying to get across the start-finish line. Lap number 11 going to go on the board as we head down into turns 1 and 2. Number 12 on the board, just about halfway through this competition. Caution segment. If you're behind the wheel, if I'm a crew chief, I want you to treat it like it's the last 20 after a restart. I want you to get every single thing you can out of the truck. I want you to abuse the tires. It's going to give me a good concept of what to expect a little later if I need you to save a little bit to make a strategy. What the tire is going to look like. So if I'm one of these drivers or one of these crew chiefs, I'm pushing as hard as I can right now. As Radford showing he's going to become just our second race leader of the night. It looks like he's starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and Chris Medford. Brandon Pamitat going to securely settle into third. John Barrett back and forth, and Dustin Franklin rounding out your top 5. Battles for position just around that top 10. Let's go back here. We've got a Hornet station. One call first. Thomas Bowling, Brandon Medford, Nathan Eastemp all right there. You can see that square B number 55 machine. Of Eastemp at the bottom of the racetrack. Smalling going to put the Pro Cup racing experience number 12. Looking for a position on Parkhurst. Not going to quite get the 23. Top 10, still side-by-side racing action for the past 2 laps between these two gentlemen. A little bit of a strike. The outside wall back there, I believe that may have been James Hood into the outside wall. Into the outside wall, going to scrape and throw up some dust. Keep heading in the right direction. Lap number 16 goes on the board as Chris Medford beginning to move around for back in the board. Jump back forward and watch that one unfold. Medford Radford finally able to do away with Smalling for the moment. Closes in on the back of Parkhurst. Close race. So we go on. We got one of those onboard camera shots here tonight, guys, and they're giving us the thumbs up. Let's go onboard with the 23 DJ sponsored Chevy Silverado of Mark Parkhurst just to his outside. There we see that 41 of John Gutekunst. Holding down that 8th position for the time being. Brandon Medford right behind this 23 truck. There's the look back. Thanks, guys. Good cue on that one. We do appreciate that vantage point. Looking for the slide job and not quite going to clear and be able to come up the racetrack. Momentum will stay with Parkhurst and he'll keep that 9th position for now. As we get closer and closer to lap number 20, let's transition back at the front of the field. Here you can see able to reel in Medford just a little bit, but that's allowed Radford to put that advantage up to 0.3 of a second at the front of the field. These front runners just looking to make their way to the competition caution. Radford continuing to open up the gap at the front. And caution! Caution on the track. There it is. That's going to be your competition caution. No trouble for anybody. No issues around the track. And there you have it. Throwing it early in that window. Competition caution to get a fly here at lap number 20. Bring the field back to a crawl. And Radford going to lead the field down to pit road. I would expect to see everybody utilizing this competition caution to come to pit road. But, you know, you got to ask yourself, too. You can go about another probably 12 to 13, 14 laps on fuel. So, do you risk it early here? Go ahead and get yourself off strategy. And it looks like nobody willing to gamble just yet. Everybody got to come down pit road, so we're going to utilize this opportunity to step away from the track for just a moment. Pay a handful of bills. You know how that goes. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here live from Kentucky Speedway. And back live trackside as the field has received the one to go. Halfway down the backstretch, leading him off of pit road, Chris Medford will take back that top spot. Your pole sitter going to go back to the top of the speed charts. Radford going to slot in to his inside. Brandon Pamitat and Dustin Franklin back into row number 2 for the restart. So we'll switch gears from the drone cam and get you a little closer to the action as the field heads out of turn number 4. Here we go. Fans back on their feet, ready to watch these machines blast down into turn 1. Pace car in, and away we go. Green flag flies, little bit of a wiggle. Outside lane, Medford with a wiggle. That's going to give Radford a chance to work that inside lane, but fortunately enough, Medford going to have enough behind him to get around the 94. The Lucky Pin Project 94 machine of Radford will settle into second. Inside one for Brandon Pamitat looking for that third position. Now making move for second deep into the corner. The bottom of the racetrack keeps it pinned down to that yellow line, looking for some forward bite out of turn number 4. He'll cross the line in second and have the position. Radford going to slide back to third. 74 of Dustin Franklin turned almost completely sideways when, well, then he had a little bit of a spin, brought out the first position deep in the field, and has since run himself back into a solid top position, as well as Brandon Medford back behind him, sitting in that 6th position. So 2 drunk drivers, early trouble, recovering well here tonight at Kentucky. As lap number 25 goes on the board, we'll drop that time and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Intense battle front of the field, top 3 throwing some haymakers at each other. Radford able to hold on to the top spot for now. Radford looking to the inside of Pamitat. Which way do you cover? That looks like a little move there. Chris Medford going to move to the bottom of the racetrack as Pamitat trying to make something work on the high side. Here comes number 66 machine looking for a podium position here. Parkhurst and Smalling going at it, 10th and 11th on the speedway as well. A lot of racing action all over the track as James Wu makes a pass and gains the position on Scott Baker. Baker going to fall back to 16th. Pamitat trying to sort out who's going to run second. Chris Medford liking what he sees in the rear view, and that's a lot of drivers mixing up. Smalling, E-step into the outside wall. Zachary Woods with a little dust on the lone Toyota in the field. Solo Tundra here tonight. Running that outside lane in the 60 machine. Zach gonna cross the line this time by losing a handful of positions coming to the line. Zach gonna move back to 12th. Everybody still on the lead lap here as we work lap number 28. All 17 drivers still on track. Troy Radford looking for the race lead. And Radford going to go back to the point. Three lead changes among 2 different drivers here tonight. Only teammates have shown the way here from Kentucky. Radford going to take that top spot back once again. Chris Medford going to settle back into second. Big run out of turn number 2. And Pamitat going to go right across the nose of Garrett. Slowly starting to build the lead at the front of the field. Radford stepping out to 4/10 of an advantage. The battle now second, third, fourth on the racetrack. as Brandon Medford and Dustin Franklin start to run with each other again. Let's keep our eye on these two drivers. A little bit of a dust-up earlier here tonight from these guys. Will they keep it clean, or will fisticuffs be a flying here in a handful of moments? For the time being, looks like they're going to keep it clean. We're going to go back to another battle on the track. There you can see the 10 of Claude Felter looking to make a move on any step. That's going to be for the 12th position. Open up the door for James Oot to look to the inside of E-Step as well. Here tonight, as we've had one on-track incident, one competition caution, so green flag racing for these for the next 10 laps. The field starting to open itself up just a little bit. Gaps beginning to develop throughout this field. Claude Felter, Oop, and Baylor all back here running towards the tail end of the field. Let's move a little bit forward inside of the top 10. There's the 41 of John Gutekunst trying to run down Thomas Smalling for the 8th position. Mark Parkhurst not too far away from them. And Dustin Franklin may be playing some strategy here. Let's take a look here. Where I apologize, it's the 23 of Mark Parkhurst that has that gap. Was running right there behind that 74 machine of Dustin Franklin, but now Parkhurst 1 second back. Maybe dropping back purposefully. Maybe saving a little bit of fuel, saving a little bit of tires here early in this green flag run. We'll see how the speed translates throughout the second course. Of this green flag run, right around 14-15 laps into this green flag run, so we're about halfway through the field. It's going down a little bit here at the tail end of this top 6. Let's go back right here with the battle for position. Medford, Pamatat, Garrett all going at it. There you can see John Garrett digging to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for that 3rd position to slide up just a little bit, close some distance. But the gap will open right back up on the exit of turn 4, back across the stripe. Lap number 36 now on the board. Meanwhile, race leader Troy Radford and Troy Sanders, GCs behind him, racing side by side, throwing some haymakers for position, and Radford able to step away 6/10 of a bubble, get it right, 6/10 of an advantage. Over the field, Medford sitting back there in second with Brandon Pamatat rounding out your top 3. Rowan Thomas Smalling going to get into the outside wall just a little bit. Smalling into the outside wall. There you can see the Pro Cup Racing Experience number 21 machine. A little bit of stripes to that point side after his 3rd or 4th little scrape up with that outside wall. That thing comes at you a little quicker than what you may think. Thad Miller and John Gutekunst getting ready to battle for the final positions inside of the top 10. Miller holding on to that 10th position, needing a little bit more to secure his opportunity to run for a championship. Came into tonight's race sitting 12th in the points, final spot in the cutoff position. Zach Woods and Scott Baker both good runs here tonight to possibly catapult themselves into the championship chase. Oh, when we got trouble, Brandon Medford gonna go around. Medford around on the front stretch. Tell you what, let's go high above the track. Let's go see what happened here. As drivers gonna have some trouble, Brandon Medford gonna go around and bring out our latest caution. Let's go check the replay. And what looks like maybe a repeat punt reversed and reciprocated. Brandon Medford and Dustin Franklin gonna come together. Contact and a spin will bring out our third caution of the evening. Just our second yellow flag for on-track contact. And between two familiar faces, we're gonna jump back to the front though with your race leader Troy Radford. And see here, yeah, this is where it gets interesting, the race fans. We're just about halfway through tonight's race. Competition caution flew at lap number 20. We are 20 laps into this green flag run. What do you do? If you pull the trigger right now, you're not going to make it to the end of the race. You're going to have to stop at least one more time. So are the fresh tires paramount? Are they king here? Looks like the majority of crew chiefs believe so. Field going to be called to pit road, so as everybody dives to pit lane to put 4 fresh Goodyears and fill up the fuel tanks. Going to take the opportunity to step away, pay some of the final few bills here tonight. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live here from Kentucky Speedway. You won't miss any green flag action right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And we bring you back live trackside as field heads into turn number 3. Chris Medford will lead them back to the green flag. Troy Radford just to his inside. Back in row number 2 for the restart. Parkhurst and Bamatat, Smalling and Garrett going to make up row number 3. Gutekunst, Thad Miller back in row 4. Row number 5, Thad Failer and Scott Clodfelter as the pace car ducks off. We're going to get set to let these guys run wild once again. To the restart zone we roll on the gas and green flag flying. Once again, here with the Colonial Clash of Racing Truck Series live from Kentucky Speedway. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes Medford. Will take that spot easily into one. Bamatat going to pull even for a moment. Slide back to third now as the battle rages between Garrett Smalling and Parkhurst for position. Machine taking on the bottom of the road, looking for a position inside of the podium for the first time here tonight, and we got a quick caution on the track. Once again, trouble here from Kentucky. It looks like Thad Miller may be the latest victim. Let's go check the eye splash replay. Looked like some slight net code as well there, so don't really want to put that on failure, but it looks like the 42 will take responsibility for that one, and that will put us under caution quickly once again here from Kentucky Speedway. Four cautions on the evening, only 3 for on-track incidents, so drivers have seen a long green flag run there to close out that opening stage. As it looks like maybe some strategy coming into play here. Ray Radford, Zach Woods, Thad Miller, all up in road. This time by halfway into tonight's race when we cross the line this coming time around the track. So some strategy plays may be in order. And we're hearing word, some connection loss out there. Looks like some trouble for Troy Radford. Looks like Radford has fallen off of the timing and scoring, and indeed no longer listed in that second position. Big time troubles here now for Radford, as he's going to lose a ton of positions, and I would expect to see him lose at least a lap or two here. However, he may not be racing for a race win here tonight any longer from Kentucky Speedway. What Radford still gets to keep his eye on that ultimate prize, that is the season championship. Coming into tonight's race, Radford sitting in second in the overall point standings, just 29 points back behind his teammates, solidly and secure in your championship 12. So with things kicking off at Talladega, what's your thoughts on that one, race fans? I mean, it's a short playoff run as it is here with the Colonial Clash Racing Series. I mean, let's be honest about it. We've got 2 rounds of 12, 2 rounds for the round of 8, and then your championship race. So just 5 weeks of championship action, and we're going to kick things off at Talladega Super Speedway. Middle portion of the championship. A little bit of a short track heaven. Gateway, Nashville, Milwaukee, back to back to back before we finish things off at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City, hosting the Royal Festival to crown the king here in season number 4. So, I mean, Talladega to open up the chase, that is just, you're going to have to walk away with a good finish. I mean, let's just be honest. You're going to have to walk away with a decent finish to not put yourself in a position that you have to finish in a podium for Gateway, because Gateway, definitely one of those tricky tracks, especially for these lighter trucks in the rear end. Turn 1 can be quite a fit for these drivers, as it's kind of a downhill off-camber left-hand corner. But we'll get to that when we get to there. And we'll get back on the gas, and green flag will fly. Once again, Chris Medford going to lead him back down to turn 1. Field getting going again. John Garrett, Brandon Penitat now going at it for that second position. Thomas Smalling up into the mix with Mark Parkhurst right behind him. John Gutekunst now knocking on the door of the top 5. The 41 truck on the high side. We will see him on the outside of Parkhurst. How about Scott Clodfelter, man? Just kind of silent killer here tonight, right? I mean, this guy, where did he come from? outside of your top 10, now sitting in that 11th position. The fast Ford, the F-150 in the field here tonight, representing those blue ovals. Clonfelter with a good, quiet night. Attack looking for position in front of the field. Going to dig to the bottom of the racetrack through 3 and 4. Not quite going to have the position. They'll slide up the racetrack. But the course down on the apron. Across the line, Medford will continue to lead with fast time being set now by John Garrett. Garrett going to lay down a blazing fast lap here in race trim, a 30:52. Now the quick time into race trim. Look for that 66 to try to make some moves. As we cross the line, lap number 50 going to go on the board. We're going to drop that timing scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along and find your favorite driver. Just like we do right here in the production booth. And as we mentioned, Radford was going to be down multiple laps after a little bit of connection issue. And that's kind of the, well, let's be honest, that's kind of the downhill side of things of racing in the virtual world. Sometimes connections and internet speed problems can cause issues in your night. Unforeseen errors. Troy Radford going to head back out onto the track. That is what you call perseverance. That is what you call just trying to get what you can. We'll see if Radford's going to be able to pick up any positions here tonight. Listed the only driver off of the lead lap. 3 laps down, but he's going to turn into quick time. Now belongs to Radford. 50. Now the fast time in race trim as Radford going to put that Lucky Finn project number 94 at the top of the speed charts, just not on top of the scoring pylon. Things getting a little heated here at the front of the field. We're going to stay with this battle for a moment. What does Pamitan do down into turn number 3? Waits for look like a last moment move. Oh my goodness. Gonna push up through the center of 3 and 4. Contact almost being made here. It's going to be a drag race, and Brandon Pamitan going to steal the lap. New race leader for just the 3rd time here tonight. It's going to be our 4th lead change of the evening. Now making a 5th lead change as Medford able to motor his way back around and take that top spot back away from that 48 U.S. Air Force machine of Brandon Pamitan, who slides back to 2nd. Across the line, field going to head down into turn number 1. Right at your right into your little rooms. Here we go. There goes the field out of the center of 1 and 2, coming down the back stretch. Some chills up my spine every time we get this close to the racing action. Good look off of turn number 4. You'll see the entire field go past and past it. Back across the line. Lap number 55 goes on the board. Top 3 still nose to tail, less than 0.2 of a second separating your top 3 drivers. Here comes a move for that 4th position. Mark Parker's going to dig to the bottom of the racetrack as Thomas Smalling and John Gutekunst right there in the flow. Gutekunst looking for a position. I do believe we have an onboard camera shot. Let's go on board here. Yeah, there you go. Great job, guys. Let's get to this onboard overhead look. The 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience truck on the Thomas Smalling, trying to run down your top 3 drivers just out in front of him. A little further through the field, we've got more action. Let's go on board with the 42 Dutch Brothers Coffee Company. Chevy Silverado Thad Failer looking for a position on James Hill. You can see just off in front of 65 with a solid night here tonight, knocking on the door of the top 10. Great racing action at the front, great racing action towards the back, and we're going to jump back outside of the trucks and back around the track. Front of the field still single file as the gap begins to dissipate. What was once 3 drivers battling for the top spot. We're going to have 3 more joining the party here. The 21 from Thomas Smalling, the 23 Mark Parkhurst, and the 41 of John Gutekunst. Looks like they're drafting well with each other here. Strategically drafting over again. I know what you might be thinking. Well, you know, Dave, it's not a super speedway. How the heck you drafting? And let me tell you this, if you're in your straightaway, and you're within half a second of the driver in front of you, you're getting a tow. Regardless of what you may think, the physics are there to prove it. You're getting a tow, you're getting a little bit of help. So those 3 drivers got organized quick. They were able to run down your top 3, but now battling side by side. Parkhurst looking for position, slide job through 1 and 2. Here comes the crossover. Crossover taking quite a bit of time to come to a head, but not going to have the steam to pull it off. The 23 of Parkhurst will keep the position at the top of the racetrack. Back down to the bottom, going to the 21. Garrett just off in front. The 66 has lost a little bit of ground to your top 2. Brandon Medford, Troy, and Brandon Panatak. Chris Medford, we apologize. Too many Medfords and too many Brandons. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. 4 trucks battling for the final position inside of your top 3 podium spots. John Garrett hanging on to that 3rd position with Mark Parkhurst, John Gutekunst, and Thomas Smalling up in the mix. Gutekunst's going to have a little bit of a rough go in 1 and 2. He'll slide way up the track. That's going to open up a little for that 21 truck to dive to the inside and look for the position there. You can see pass still trying to be made on the Pro Cup Racing Experience Chevy Silverado, piloted by Thomas Smalling, sitting in 6th. Gutekunst's going to keep it wound up at the top. He'll cross the line and remain inside of your top 5. It's not just about the battles at the front, we've got battles near the tail end of this field. There you can see the 42 of Pat Failer, Nathan Estep, and James Hoot all mixing it up, going into their positions just outside of your top 10. And really, I want to talk about a battle that's a little bit deeper right now. Zach Woods and Scott Baker. Those are the 2 drivers on the outside looking in, and it's only by a handful of points, 20 to 30. With Wes Fuller not in the field here tonight, Fuller may very well drop out of your championship 12 when the points are all added up and all said and done. We're going to get you all of that information at next week's All-Star event. Going to try to pull some driver interviews as well. Maybe have a guest appearance in the booth if we can. So we'll see how it all goes. We're going to try to bring you one of the best All-Star events to ever be had here with the Turn 30 Racing Network. We'll see how the rest of the night goes here. Tonight's show of the way Chris Medford beginning to look at eyeballing, leading the most laps here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. Brandon Panatak 6th and sits in 2nd. But John Garrett right there in 3rd. Gutekunst, Garrett going at it for position, and John Gutekunst's going to take that 3rd spot away. Now looking to the inside. Here comes Parkhurst looking for position on Garrett, the 66, struggling a little bit on the high side. After 25 laps into the green flag run, drivers beginning to slip and slide just a little bit as they continue to lose grip. We haven't checked in on it in a while as we've been seeing 25 to go. Let's take a little look at the weather report here and there. You can see, as we predicted, with the sun going down and the cool night air coming and staying in the air around the track. Track temperature indeed has dropped 2 degrees, so we should see a little bit faster pace here. looking at these lap times and drivers running some amazing lap times right now for being on tires that are over 25 laps old. They have only dropped off about a second and a half or so. Really good fall off here tonight at Kentucky. Will that influence the decision on pit road? And if, I don't know, if you're anybody inside the top five, what do you got to lose? Right, Bedford, secure. Pennington, secure. Kudikan, Smalling, Garrett, Medford, Franklin, all secured into the postseason. So there you have it, 23 Parker. He's going to be about the first driver in this field that can really throw caution to the wind as well. So, I mean, the majority of the field can throw caution to the wind. Scott Baker and Zach Woods got to be a little more calculated with what their strategy is, as Woods is going to head to pit road this time by. We'll see 4 tires, 2 tires. What's it going to be? And it looks like it's going to be a 2-tire stop here. 2-tire stop, maybe just fuel Zach Woods. 42.2. The second on pit lane, and it looks like we've got more takers. Here you go. John Garrett gonna pull that forward screen printing number 66 down to pit lane. We'll see where Garrett rejoins the race. Meanwhile, front of the field stepping out and stepping away. Your top 2 drivers stepping away from John Gutekunst, who sits in third. Up 5 positions, though, man. What a run here from this U.S. Air Force number 48 Chevy Silverado of Brandon Pamitat, huh? I mean, absolutely stellar performance. We're going to take a look off the front end of this 48 machine as we've got more drivers to pit road. Thad Failer, Thad Miller, James Huth, all on the pit road this latest time around. John Garrett getting up to speed, 4-tire stop, so 5-second advantage on and off pit road for Zach Woods, but will he have the speed late in the run with that 2-tire call? Great run, great look here off of the 48. Oh, Brandon Pamitat, as we're going to go back in the field, take a look here between John Gutekunst. And I believe that is Thomas Smalling. Yes, it is the 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience. Chevy Silverado going at it for position 3rd and 4th on the racetrack. Doing some haymakers, looking for some positions. More drivers to pit road. Parkhurst, Eastep, Radford. All in their box as Dustin Franklin going to bring the 74 down the pit road this time around. Stagger stairs step through these final handful of laps, and everybody going to have to come to pit road. You are not going to make it to the end of this thing with the fuel that you stopped for on lap number 40. It's asking 40, 45, 46 laps. And although we've had one caution, I just don't think it's enough. So with the green flag pit stops well and underway, we're going to have timing scoring a little bit. I don't want to say a little bit messed up. Drivers that have pit to pit lane listed 1 lap down. John Garrett as the top driver 1 lap down. Came to pit road back on lap number 69, so just about 5 laps ago. As we've got drivers to pit road as Chris Medford and John Gutekunst. Going to come to pit road. Brandon Medford going to join them. Scott Felter also to pit lane. Your top 2 going to stay out on the racetrack. And Brandon Pamitat going to move back to the race lead. Give us our 8th lead change of the night amongst 3 separate drivers. Anybody else be able to get to the front of the field? Who's going to walk away with the checkered flag? And Brandon Pamitat is going to head to pit road this time around. That's going to put the field into the hands of Thomas Smalling, who's going to extend this green flag run. Smalling, one of the only drivers yet to make his green flag pit stop. only 2 drivers remaining on the lap during this long green flag pit cycle, and Thomas Smalling gonna drop from the racing surface down to pit lane. Brandon Benetton working his way off of the pit lane, looking to stay out front. But here comes the run. John Garrett gonna cross the start-finish line, head full of steam. Up and around Brandon Benetton. Move that 66 to the top spot. Great pit strategy has got Garrett out front. And how about Zach Woods, man? On the outside looking in, he needed to turn his race around. He was mired back in traffic outside of your top 10. And here he is with a great pit strategy, sitting in 6th for the moment. We'll see if he can hang on to that position. Gonna move to 5th. Positions just now getting up to speed. But Woods needed a good finish for a shot in the arm for a chance at a championship. Will this pit strategy be enough to reach that 60 to the postseason? We've still got 13 laps of racing action coming at you before we can decide that one, but I don't think Garrett's going to have enough. 5 lap fresher tires digging behind him. Those freshies catching up in a hurry. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes your pole award winner. He's going to sum up the most laps led here tonight from Kentucky Speedway as well. Looking to possibly have that fast time. Just about the only box that he hasn't checked here tonight. Chris Medford goes back to the pole. So as your top 3 begin to settle themselves out, let's go here. This is where a big battle is at. Pat Baylor, Mark Park, as well as Brandon Benetton. We can include Justin Franklin in this mix as well. 3rd all the way back through 6th, all right here running within a handful of tenths of each other. As your top 2 step away from the field, advantage with a 1.7-second advantage from Garrett back to Baylor. Your top 2 pretty secure where they're running. A little bit of contact right there between the 42 of Baylor and the 48 of Benetton. Baylor trying to hold on to the podium position, but Benetton thinking, I got somewhere to go. I got somewhere to be. Driver with fresher tires going to win that battle. Benetton into the final spot inside of the podium position. Will cross the line with less than 10 to go. 9 left on the board. As we begin to wind things down on Kentucky Speedway, if you haven't already, race fans, if you enjoy this racing action, go ahead and join us on that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love. Drop the thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the over there on the right-hand side with notify anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, David McCabe, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Stop by. Whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, or family, maybe one of our many sponsors, we appreciate and salute each and every one of you. But while you're here, while you're in, show these drivers some love and drop it one thumbs up. 7 to go this time by as Chris Medford has stepped out to a 2.2-second head advantage. Brandon Benetton Medford down at the front of the field. So let's transition to a battle for the final positions inside of the top 5. This is Matt Baylor, Mark Parkhurst, all right here going at it. All the team needs a good finish finish here tonight, trying to hold on to the top 5 with just 6 laps remaining. Can the Dutch Brothers Coffee Company number 42 Silverado pick up enough points to put himself in championship contention? We're going to have to wait for the points tally and bring that to you at the All-Star race next week. He needed to do something, right? I mean, you're on the outside looking at it. You know everybody's going to have to make one more stop. He's going to roll the dice, and there's contact. Contact and through the grass, back up on track. Oh, boy. Late race caution. Oh, my. We seen it happen right before our eyes. We seen what took place, but we're going to see if we got an onboard camera shot of this one. Looks like we are getting a thumbs up. First to win some trouble. Let's go check the eye splash replay. And there it is. Just going to go around. Go around with a little bit of help, but nonetheless, the 23, no damage. And that's going to be the good thing. The bad thing is we're going to be in a green-white checkered scenario here. As you see Parkhurst moving to catch up to the pace car. Pit road will be open this time by. All right, any crew chiefs out there in the chat? What do? Do you come get tires and risk giving up a ton of track position? 16 drivers still in the lead lap. Or do you stay out on these, what is it, about 20 plus lap old tires? It looks like there's whoa, Brandon Pamitat, okie doke. He's gonna say nope and head back out onto the track. And this is where you may not want to be in that strategy. It looks like the 2 drivers are going to roll the dice. The U.S. Air Force number 48 will stay out on track. Brandon Pamitat going to look to shock the world on some older tires. It looks like this thing gonna go 1 extra mile than the official scheduled race distance. Lap number 88 underway. Will come around next time. Receive the 1 to go on lap 89. So the white flag will fly on lap number 90. We'll finish it out when we come to lap 91. So yeah, it's what a way to finish the regular season, though, right? Why not have a little bit of action, a little bit of excitement, a little something to kick us off heading into the All-Star Race weekend coming at you next Wednesday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thanks to all of the sponsors here with the Colonial Clash Racing Series. Fort Worth Screen Printing, as well as a Butt Kicker Pro Cup Racing Experience. Also on board Goose Graphics, Mountain Mafia Kennels, Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. We appreciate each and every one of you hard-working sponsors out there tonight. And we salute each and every one of the hard-working guys and girls making it happen back behind the scenes at the Turn 3 Racing Network headquarters. Big shout-out to all they do week in, week out. Tireless work, selfless work to ensure we can bring the best possible product from the track onto your screens. The field will receive the 1 to go next time around, and we're going to have a 2-lap shootout to determine your checkered flag race winner here tonight. Man, I don't know. If Brandon Pamitat could have got another 2 to 3 drivers to stay out with him in Radford, I'd like his position a lot better. But no matter what, driver with fresh tires is going to line up behind him. More importantly, race fans, we're looking at this here. It looks like, oh my goodness. Looks like only a 2-tire stop for that square D, number 55 of Nathan Eastep. So maybe this has a little something to do with your decision on your starting lane. Chris Medford, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, a second row, outside lane. Looks like Pemitat gonna try the strategy of trapping the freshest tires behind a driver with some much older tires on the high side. Man, I don't know. See, this is why I'm glad I'm not on top of these bid boxes anymore. Because I would have loved to have come to pit road and got tires. I love 4 fresh tires. Give me 4 fresh. Each and every time. I don't care. Let's go steal them from the next pit stall if we need to. I want 4 fresh every single time. So, coming to our first green-white checkered attempt. Which strategy is going to work? Which one's going to pan out? Which one's going to bring us to the payday? Brandon Pemitat, your control car, stayed out on the racetrack. Just about 15 tires than the guys behind them. We'll see how it all pans out as we head to the restart zone this time around. Wait for it, wait for it. And green flag flies. A little bit of an early jump by the 47. Pemitat going to wait until deep into the box. He's going to grab a gear and take off 3 wide for second. 3 wide for second. He digs to the bottom. What a move here. Eastep going to take that second position away. Here comes Chris Medford to the racetrack, looking for position, heading down to turn 3. Big slide job contact. Thomas Spaulding goes around. Goes around, and caution will fly before we get back to the line. We're going to re-rack them for another green-white checkered attempt. A lot going on here after that one. Let's go back. Let's check the replay. There you can see Thomas Smalling already around. Dustin Franklin involved. A handful of other drivers going to catch some of this action here. Let's see if we can't take one more look at it. Off of the front bumper and around he goes. And that's going to do it. And that's going to put the nail in the coffin for that 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience. Chances to walk away with a checkered flag here tonight. Meanwhile, front of the field, Brandon Pemitat looking somewhat like an evil genius here out front, but big concern now is he's going to have Chris Medford with those fresh tires starting right beside him. Where do you put him? Do you want to give him that inside, knowing that the inside lane is kind of the place to pass? Or are you willing to... I mean, oh man, this is a tough one. If it's me, I want the outside lane. I want to be able to keep this thing wound up as much as possible heading down into turn 1. I'm the control car, so I get to fire things off first. So I'm gonna have a slight advantage right there. And I mean, at this point in time, if you're Brandon, you got no other options. You're not coming to pit lane now, so you just got to bail it off into turn 1, hope she sticks, and hope you stay out front. Right around 5 miles of racing action remaining here from Kentucky Speedway. We're going to try our second green-white checkered attempt here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. The final race of the regular season here with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Looking through the timing scoring here, Zach Wood still inside of a top 10 position, so still has some hope, still has a glimmer of hope here. Scott Baker a little bit worse off here tonight. Baker sitting out of tonight's race, unable to continue. Looks like the engine gonna go lay down on him is how we'll word it. So Scott Baker's race has come to an end, and his chance at a championship run has come to an end as well. Zach Woods pick up a few positions here to gain a handful of points that could possibly catapult him into a chance to run for the championship. If you thought the race win was heated, man, the battle for those final positions inside the top 12 really down to the wire here this season. Wes Fuller may be looking to hold on by the skin of his teeth when it's all said and done. Whew, my nerves can't take it. I'm telling you. So 20 laps since that 48 U.S. Air Force Chevy Silverado has been to pit lane. Less than 10 laps ago is when we seen the rest of the field down pit road. And I mean the rest of the field. Everybody else to pit road. Back on lap 87, Brendan Pimitak going to stay out on track. Oh, man. I just don't know. We're gonna root for him. We're gonna root for the man with two tires as well. Let's see if Nathan Easton can get that square T number 55 machine onto a podium finish. Pace car down and away. The boss man in the flag stand waiting to let these drivers loose into the restart zone. We roll on the loud pedal once again, and green flag flies. Good start on the bottom of the racetrack for Pimitat. He's going to scoot away. E-step looking to fill the void, looking for a spot, heading down into turn number one, side by side for second. And this is just what the doctor ordered for that 48 of Pimitat. He needs E-step to fight hard for that second position. We'll work our way through the center of 3 and 4. Trouble on the track in the back. Big time trouble as Scott Clodfelter gonna have a huge impact, man. Oh my goodness. And I believe that will bring it to an end. Second attempt at a green, a white, checkered, and race officials will call it the white flag. This time around, we will finish behind the pace car. Big contact between Brendan Medford. Looks like he was involved in this one. Looks like Clodfelter also involved in this one. And there you can see the wounded 83 Zoe's Place machine down on the bottom of the racetrack. Heavy damage, and it looks like Medford may be out. Unable to continue and finish tonight's race. Brendan Pimitat, man, he's going to pick up his second win of the season and try to build some momentum, catapult himself into some happy times for the All-Star race coming at you next week. We're going to cross the line, checkered flag in hand to the boss man at the flag stand, and it's going to be official race over here tonight. From Kentucky Speedway, Brandon Pemitat will take the top spot, and what a gamble it was. Man, I would have loved to have heard that discussion between the driver and the crew chief there on how they were going to work this thing. So the Long Island native going to get it done. And we're going to get a chance to talk to him here in just a handful of moments. Brandon Pemitat will bring it back to the front stretch, get the fans in the stands. A little bit of a smoke show. If he's got any gas left, that's going to be the next crucial thing here. I mean, race is over, so he's just going to burn it down until it runs it dry. Little bit of a run there. He's going to fool us all. We thought he was going to end up in that outside wall, but here it goes. Celebration in order here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. Brendan Pemitat going to take the top spot. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break, get things set up for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's race here for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. We're going to finish off the regular season here tonight under the lights at Kentucky Speedway. Head off into the All-Star Week next week. But first, let's head into some of these post-race interviews. Let's see if we can grab a few words with the man that walked away with the pole position. Going to finish a little bit further back after leading the most laps here tonight inside of his 46 machine. Chris, it's Dave. You got a copy?
I sure do.
Hey, man, a great First of all, congratulations on the podium finish. Congratulations on the pole, leading the most laps here tonight. Uh, how you feeling after having this one almost sewed up and in the bag, and then a late race caution with 5 to go kind of changed the whole dynamics?
I just really screwed my race. I knew once we had new tires that it was going to be over with, just because everybody was on equal ground. They could hold almost wide open all the way around the track. So I hate that the caution came out with Brandon and whoever it was, because I had Pamatute back there about 2 seconds and hold him at bay at that. So he had a good run tonight. Great win for him. Just stinks for the team.
Well, Chris, we're going to shift gears next week. Non-points racing for the All-Star event. So kind of a 1 week breather, if you will, before we start this championship run. We've got 2 rounds of 12, 2 rounds of 8, then the championship night there at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But the first race in the playoffs, the elephant in the room, if you will, Talladega Super Speedway. How do you feel about starting off the championship chase at such an unknown?
If you want my honest opinion, I find it more of a joke. Nothing against league or anything like that. I just feel like having specialty tracks as much as Talladega, which anybody can win. You can be right in the back and get caught with somebody else's stupid mess, or you get them road course ringers, or one of my leagues used to be start off with dirt out of all things. So I'm not a huge fan of it. There's gonna be a lot of wrecking, a lot of aggressive guys. We'll see how it goes.
Well, Chris, it's been an amazing season for you. You walk away with 3 wins in the regular season. We're going to look forward to seeing you in these post-race interviews during this championship run. We're going to have 5 races to decide who the king of season number 4 is. I think you're one of the big names that everybody's going to have to watch out for. So congratulations on coming into tonight's race number 1, being secure in that championship run. Congratulations on your championship opportunities. We'll see how things go for you next week in the All-Star race. But before we let you go here tonight from Kentucky, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yep, thank you, Dave, for the broadcast. I know it's always great. I know we had some good racing up there in front, but at least between me and Pamatute and then Troy and the other guys. So, the broadcast is always great. Shout out to all our sponsors. Everybody puts on the race.
All right, my man. Well, if that's all, again, congratulations on a great regular season. We'll go head down, elbows up for some bragging rights next week in the All-Star event. And until next time, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
10-4, thanks, sir.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from Chris Medford. A little bit down about how things played out here tonight. Had a comfortable lead, but a late race caution changed everything up. And speaking of changing everything up, he was back in the field quite a bit. Going to gain 12 positions in his run here tonight to walk away with a spot on the podium. Nathan, it's Dave. You got us?
Yeah, man, what's going on?
Not much, man. Watching a great run from you here at the end of tonight's race, man. Up 12 positions from where you qualified to walk away second here tonight. Gotta be happy about the way the night ended for you and that Square D crew.
Yeah, man, I'll take it. I think around like lap 12 or so, I smacked the wall with Zach Woods there, and then we are just kind of making fun of each other in the chat there, racing for like 15th, and then yeah, I don't know, like whenever that last caution happened, it was like right there at the end, like lap 82 or whatever, and yeah, just took 2 tires and skipped about 90% of the field and ended up second, so I'll take it. I think that's the highest I've ever finished in this league.
Well, I was going to say, to walk away with a podium spot, you got to put yourself in an opportunity to securely get there. I mean, a little bit of a roll of the dice doesn't hurt every now and again, but as you said, one of your first few podiums here this with the league and this season as well. So with a little bit of momentum on your side heading into an all-star event, no points on the line, how do you approach next week's race?
I don't know. I think we're doing the legacy trucks, and it's at Charlotte, so I guess we'll see. I know those are kind of a handful, so maybe try the 2-tire strategy at the end again. I don't know.
Well, it worked tonight. We'll see how many more times it can work for you. Maybe you might have found a little bit of mojo here. We'll have to see how it all goes, man. But again, congratulations on the podium finish to finish out the regular season here in season number 4. So before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the night here at Kentucky Speedway, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home?
Yeah, man. Definitely want to thank all the guys over at 7076 for putting this on every season. Definitely for my wife for putting up with me racing a few times a week. And definitely to you as well, man. Thanks for broadcasting every week. You do such a stellar job. And it's like one of my favorite things to do on Thursdays is to go back and watch every race. So definitely thank you.
Well, we're gonna talk about you a little bit more, man. We appreciate the comments. No, I'm just kidding, man. Glad you enjoy going back and watching the racing action. I appreciate the comments. I know everybody in the admin side of things and all the drivers at the league appreciate the comments as well. Nathan, you've been an absolute uh, stellar driver to keep up with. Maybe not always having those finishes that you deserve, but they're starting to come around, and that 55 is starting to look quick here. We're going to look to see if we can't catch up with you throughout the course of the rest of season number 4. So until then, my man, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right. Thanks, man. You too.
All right, there you go. For the man that finished second, you heard it himself. He rolled the dice, and it paid off. Winner at the blackjack table here tonight. Nathan Eastham going to walk away with a great finish. He'll finish back in second. That's going to move us right along to a familiar face into victory lane for the second time this season. Brandon Pamatat going to take the checker flag. Brandon, it's Dave. You got a copy?
What's going on, brother?
Same old stuff, different day, new tracks, same old guys out front, man. But a new guy in victory lane. How's it feel to keep those Medford boys out of victory lane?
It feels really good, to be honest. It was a hell of a race between Chris and I, all race. Troy was up there too, but sadly he lost connection, it seemed like, early on in that run. But dude, I feel so happy to finally have 2 wins under my belt in this series. So I told you after Atlanta we're gonna keep up that momentum, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, Brandon, you walked into tonight's race securely into the championship opportunity and the championship talk. Final regular season race here tonight from Kentucky. You're going to walk away with a handful of points here that should move you a little bit forward in the point standings. Maybe not too far of a jump, but still going to give you a good opportunity heading into Talladega Super Speedway for that first race in the round of 12. What's your thoughts there, and what's your thoughts on following that race up with a race at Gateway?
As per every super speedway, no matter what you're running, it's always a wild card race to where anyone can really win those. It's the same thing as real life, to where you get guys that may not even be in contention for points that go out and win that race. And then Gateway, I think you're gonna see the typical guys up at the front. Gateway, it's a very technical track. It's similar to a few tracks that we've run this season, like New Hampshire and a few other ones. But I think you'll see the typical maybe top 8 guys running strong there. But right now I'm focused on celebrating this win and carrying the momentum forward.
Well, man, you get to have one little break before we start championship racing. No points on the line next week in the All-Star race. So we'll see if the momentum carries over there to the All-Star weekend and what you can get done there. But first and foremost, man, congratulations on a great regular season. Giving yourself an opportunity to run for the season hardware, walking away with your second win here tonight from Kentucky. So you know how we do things in these post-race interviews. We're going to mute our mic, step back, and the mic is yours.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Dave, for the broadcast, and I thank you every time I get the opportunity when I'm in the podium in this series, because you do an amazing job. Myself and everyone that I've talked to, we always go back and watch it, and we love your commentary and things like that. I do want to give a kudos to Chris Mefford tonight. We had a solid battle all night, very clean, respectful racing. We were very close to dooring each other a bunch of times, but we kept it clean. So I want to give huge kudos to him tonight. I want to shout out my dad. I was in another league race last night, sponsored by pretty much for first responders and service members, and we were running good, messed up, and I was really bummed out that we couldn't bring home a podium to honor a firefighter. So I want to give him the shout out tonight for that. And I made it up to him. I told him I was going to do it, and we sure did. I want to shout out the Colonial Clash Racing Series. These guys are awesome. I had a little hiccup tonight with some of the cautions, but dude, the battles that you get in this series are some of the best you'll see on YouTube with the broadcast. And that's really about it. I'm looking forward to the playoffs and carrying the momentum forward.
Well, Brandon, as always, it's a pleasure to catch up with you in these post-race interviews. You've had a stellar season. We hope that you continue this momentum past the All-Star race and get started off at the right foot. And, I mean, that's everybody's goal when you start the championship, right? You don't want to put yourself in a hole heading into the final race of that round. So we hope Talladega is nice to you. It's one of them, as you said, wild cards. So we'll see how the cards lay when we head to Gateway. But Brandon, again, congratulations on a stellar year and a great race here tonight. With some late race strategy, you got the job done, pulled off the win. So again, my man, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Yeah, of course. I thought we messed up. Actually, if that went green, I would have run out of gas. So I got definitely played strategy right, and we brought it home. And thank you, Dave, and everyone watching. Have a great night.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that rolled the dice and walked away with, well, not with $1 million, but, maybe that's next week, but walked away with a checkered flag. Man, we were so, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want to say it. Well, we were in disbelief about the strategy call. I mean, let's be honest with it. Didn't quite think that the call from that 48 crew was going to be the winning call. But, that's why we race these things out. Brandon Pamitat going to prove us wrong, and he's going to take those no tires, stay out on track for over 20 laps, and walk away with the race win on late race restarts. Job well done. Checkered flag in hand for the second time here this season. Brandon Pamitat walks away as your race winner. Well, that's going to do it for the regular season here with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. We're going to fire things off next week for the All-Star event before kicking off the championship run at Talladega Super Speedway. And you can already hear producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results right here from Kentucky Speedway. Walking away with the top spot, checkered flag in hand for the second time this season. The U.S. Air Force 48 of Brandon Pamitat is your race winner. Nathan Eastep going to roll the dice and walk away with second, while Chris Medford, your pole sitter, leading the most laps here tonight, going to come up just short, and he'll finish back in third. John Garrett with a great run up through the field. He'll finish in fourth. Thad Baylor in the 42, giving his championship opportunities all he can. He's going to walk away with fifth. Thad Miller right there as well, eyeballing a championship run. He'll come home in sixth. Zach Woods, the 60 truck, out of nowhere, comes alive at the end. He'll finish in seventh. John Kuda comes back in eighth. Mark Parkhurst comes home ninth, and rounding out your top 10, the 47 of Ray Radford. Scott Clodfelter will finish in 11th. First driver, one lap down. Dustin Franklin back in 12th. Radford to work his way back down to just one lap down after early issues in connection. Lost the 94 Lucky Pin Project. Chevy Silverado will come home 13th. Brandon Medford back in 14th. James Hoot in 15th. Scott Baker will finish tonight's rate in 16th. And the final spot in the running order here tonight, the 21 of Thomas Smalley. That's going to do it for the running order. That's going to finish out your unofficial race results, and we're going to begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords. But before we go into All-Star Race Weekend, if you haven't already, Join us in that push to 3,000. Show these drivers some love and drop them thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Heading off into Memorial Weekend, everybody stay safe. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in Turn 3.